Hey everyone, I thought I'd do a quick video of how I process my wax cappings. It's in the evening, so the video may not be that great. I do it in the evening like this after the bees are mostly gone to bed so that they don't come bother me while I do it. But I'll show you what I do. Pretty much I put all my wax cappings in a pot, and I'm just going to fill the pot up with some water to about, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the way. That's probably good enough. All right, so I'm just going to set this on my camp chef, let it come up to a boil, and I'll probably just turn it off at that point and let it cool. I really am not even going to mess with it too much. I'll need to melt things down again and to clean it up, but for now, this will be all it'll take. We've got a bit of a storm brewing, so I'm trying to hurry and get through this quickly, but hopefully we can get it melted out and come to a boil at least that much before the storm hits. We're not quite there yet. It's melting, but not quite there yet. So what's the old saying? A watched pot never boils. So try not to watch it too much. So we're getting really close here. While a watch pot never boils, this is something you don't really want to let boil over, or you're going to have a fire on your hand. So you do kind of need to watch this. And just about there, you can kind of see the bees, dead bees, all float to the top. I'm just about there. Sorry about the lighting. It's dark out here. Okay, you can see things have come to a boil. Time to turn it off. And I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm just going to let it sit. Put the lid on it, and I'll come back in the morning. And in the morning, all of the wax and the lighter stuff will have floated to the top. The water, any honey, any heavy debris will have sunk to the bottom. Once that cools for the night, all that wax will come to the top. The really heavy gucky stuff and any honey and water will all be on the bottom, and I'll be left with basically a disc that looks like this. Now this looks pretty yucky still. There's still a lot of guck in it, but I'll take it, and I've got about 3 of these like this, and I'll take all 3 of them, put them back in the pot with water again, and melt them all down together, and then I'll work on filtering out some of the guck that's here. But for now, that's what I'm going to end up with. Okay, I've got my blocks all broken up, and I've just filled this about halfway with water and turned it on. It's starting to melt. You can see it's starting to get hot enough to melt some of the wax. And once it's all melted, then I'm going to just pour it, the whole thing, right into that bucket with a paint strainer on it. And I'll just lift the paint strainer up and kind of squeeze out the water and the wax, and it'll get a lot of this bigger stuff out of the wax, and we'll be left with a pretty good sized block of fairly clean wax. It won't be perfect, but it'll be pretty good. See, we're getting there. Still got some chunks left. There's a big block that's still got to melt. I'm just going to sit here and stir it. All right, I think I've got everything melted. I can't feel any clumps as I stir, so let's pour this out. I didn't spill too much. Now, this becomes a little bit of a tricky part. You can see most of the guck is caught in the bag. I just need to let it sit here and drain for a minute, and it'll pretty well drain out. You don't want to touch that, it's pretty hot. There, I think I got most of that out. What's left in here is just all the yucky slum gum. All the slum gum and the dirt. You can see all that dirt came out of there. You can see it's pretty clean. Got a couple of floaters, but we can pick them out. So I'll just let that cool overnight, and then we can dump it out, and we'll have a pretty good clean block of wax. So let's take a quick peek at the wax. I've got it, it's all cooled off from last night's melting. Let's just dump it out and see what we got here. So there's still some yucky stuff on the bottom of this. As you can see, the rest of it is pretty good. I've still got stuff in it, but all in all, that's a pretty good chunk of wax. We can scrape some of the bottom of that off. As you can tell, I'm out here less than 2 minutes and the bees have already found me. They are hungry around here. There's nothing left for them to eat. So anything that smells like honey or wax or a beehive, thereafter. But there's my block of wax for the year. Looks pretty good. From here, I'll melt that down a chunk at a time and actually put it in a crock pot and just melt it slowly, and then it'll get filtered one more time after this. So there's my wax processing.